Hey everybody, this is LaRonda and I'm back with the next video for today. And in this video, I want to talk to you about the phenomenon of the revolving door man. These are the men that they come into your life, you date, you talk, you have a good time, and then they kind of go right back out that revolving door and they stay out for a while. And then next thing you know, they're back either in your text messages, they're in your DMs, they're in your Facebook messages, asking you, oh, how you been, what you been up to, all this kind of stuff. So the thing that how I feel about these men is a couple of things. Like there's one that I had talked to back in, I think 2015 or 2016. It was some time ago anyway. And every so often, like we exchange numbers and we texted back and forth a little bit over text messages because we met, I think, on Tinder or one of these apps. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. And we exchanged numbers and he was supposed to call me and he never did. And so we kind of just lost touch. At first, like I thought he was pursuing me and he told me, yeah, I'm gonna call you, blah, 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 we're gonna talk on the phone, whatever. And he just never called. And so we just kind of stopped talking. And every once in a while would say back then it was like every, few months or so, he might pop back up. Then for a while, he didn't pop back up at all. Like, I would generally, once he didn't kind of come through before, I just kind of stopped answering his messages. I don't really answer them anymore because it's like pointless. Like, what do you want? You had my number and we were supposed to talk and we were supposed to eventually get together, go out, meet up, whatever the case was, and you just didn't come through. So okay, cool. We stopped talking. I moved on with my life. I hope he's moved on with his. But then he keeps popping back up. So he texts me. I didn't answer that text. He DM'd me in my Instagram DMs. I didn't really answer that either. So because once you have come into my life and you've been inconsistent, or, you've told me that you were going to do something and didn't, I tend to hold people to that, especially when I'm on a dating site and I'm looking for like actual connections and really looking for somebody who's interested in being a man, and not that, let me rephrase that. Looking for somebody who's really interested in having a connection and a true relationship. That's what I'm looking for. So whenever I find that someone is sort of being inconsistent or not doing things that they say they're going to do, that automatically sort of knocks them off my list. Or, makes me not even be interested in going out with them or answering any more of their messages and stuff. This revolving door of like, oh, I'll talk to you, I'll call you, and we're talking and corresponding on a regular basis, and then you drop off. It's like, okay, yeah, my life is not a revolving door, And so another guy, same thing sort of happened with him. Remember I mentioned to you guys a while ago in my video about how many kids is too many kids. I was going to go on and go out with a guy that I met that had 4 kids, and I was a little bit skeptical of him, but like he totally impressed me on our date. We went out, we had a decent conversation. He was a complete gentleman. He opened doors for me. He paid for the meal. He didn't ask me, oh, well, can you leave the tip? Or, how about you pay your half and I pay, there was none of that. He was a complete gentleman. He walked on the street side. He didn't try to do anything. He didn't try to kiss me or anything. He didn't try to move things along all fast. So I was like, okay, this was a good date. He was a mature man and I felt like it was a good date. But we talked a little bit after the date, and in the days after we went out, we had exchanged some text messages and stuff. But it always seemed like they were like really quick messages. Like we would be having like a quick conversation, and then he would kind of go away, and then the next morning he would message me and say, good morning, enjoy your day, or something like that. Something very closed-ended that didn't leave room for any type of conversation to sort of continue. It was just enough for me to say, thank you, you too, because he didn't ask me how I was, or he didn't do anything to he didn't open the conversation up with something that would keep the conversation going. So that also sort of led me to believe that he wasn't really interested, or that he was just doing enough to keep me sort of not, I guess you could say, to sort of keep me on the hook, for lack of a better term. You just do the bare minimum to make sure that that person will still be there if you decide that you want to like reel them back in again or whatever. Like, I don't know how to put it, but I hope you understand what I mean by that. And so we just kind of stopped talking. Like, I just got that vibe, and I just kind of left it alone. After that, thanks you too, I just never said anything else. Because like I have said in previous videos, I'm a woman that enjoys being pursued. And if a man is not going to pursue me, or I'm going to be the one that has to go out and get him, or, whatever, like I'm going to give back the energy that I receive. And if the energy that I receive from a person is one that is closed or is not truly interested, like if I can't know in my heart and soul that the man is interested without questioning it or second guessing myself, then I know that that's not for me. So anyway, we stopped talking, and I guess probably 2 to 3 weeks, or maybe probably a couple weeks, I don't know, I'm not sure how long has gone by, but probably at least 2 weeks has gone by since we went out on a date. And he just popped back up into my text, I think yesterday morning, or yesterday afternoon sometime, or either this morning, I can't remember which, but anyway, 2 weeks later. And I said to him, he asked me how I'd been doing, and I was like, fine, and was I on a holiday weekend, 3-day weekend, whatever, and I told him, yeah, and all the stuff that I'd done so far this weekend. And I told him, like, I was really surprised to hear from him again, because I had assumed that he wasn't interested. And he was like, oh, Kayleen, you thought I wasn't interested. Of course I am. But, of course? Like, this is something that's obvious? How is it obvious? And I said to him, like, if I haven't heard from somebody in a while, yes, of course I'm going to assume that they're not really interested, and that's when you kind of chuck it in the bucket and you move on with your life, And so that's what I kind of had done with him. I was like, oh, well, if he's not interested, that's fine, and, you just move on. And so he comes back, and he really offers no particular explanation of, like, he says he's interested, but he wants to get together today. Like, we're chatting this morning, and he wants to get together today, but, obviously I can't do that because I need time to get a place for my son, and, I'm a single parent, so that is one of the things that makes dating a little more complicated, because I have to make sure my son is squared away first before I do anything. And so spur of the moment stuff just doesn't work for me. And it really felt kind of bad, not bad, but it didn't feel right for me, because it's like, okay, you haven't spoken to me in all this time, and now you just want to get together like out of the clear blue and just kind of think I'm available to just get together because you've decided you want to come back into my life. Like, no. I mean, I don't have a problem going back out with him, but we're gonna do it on my terms, and that's not going to be today, and the thing that I need the most out of any man is consistency. Most of these men out here know I try to be very upfront with the fact that I am not out here looking for a one-night stand. I'm not looking for sex. I'm looking for an actual connection and an actual relationship. And I try to be as upfront about that as possible. So when you know that and you have swiped right on me or whatever the case is, or you've decided that you like me and you want to continue talking, you hopefully go into the situation knowing that I'm not down for the okie doke. You know, all this little, you know, let me enter in the revolving door and, you know, go in and out of your life when I feel like it. Nope, that's not for me. You know, and I hope that men, I hope that I'm letting them know that well enough. Like, maybe I need to change my tactics. But yeah, I'm not down for that. So, you know, I need you to be consistent. If you tell me you're going to call me, and we're going to make a date to go out, that's what I expect. And if it doesn't happen, I'm going to assume you're not interested and I'm going to move on. You know, and that's just how it is. I'm not interested in dating people who have, you know, relationships going on, or, you know, you're having problems with your girlfriend and you're trying to see what's going on out here. No, that's not for me. You know, I'm not going to be sneaking around with anybody. Or if you are one of these guys that you think that there's something better, you start talking to me and somebody you think is better comes along and you just kind of drop me and start talking to her, and then you find out that's not all that good and you want to enter back into the revolving door. Nope. That door is closed, boo-boo. So yeah, I find that phenomenon very interesting, and it has happened to me a lot over my dating years. So how do you manage your revolving door, or, you know, these men that try to come back, the revolving door man? How do you manage them? What do you say to them when they come back in your inbox, or come back texting you years later or months or weeks later after you guys have gone out on a date, or you've been, you know, not talking for a while? What do you say to them? Leave me your comments. Let me know what it's like for you and how you manage the revolving door. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and thanks for your patience this week. Hopefully next week will be Monday through Friday again without any gaps or interruptions. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.